Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Let's start. Thank you for joining SAP Extended Warehouse Management training by Shiv Shankar. First, this is me, an instructor of this particular program. I'm a practitioner of self-hypnosis and NLP way back in the 2000s. Hence, I know globally the people's personalities and the type of people like visual, kinesthetic, and auditory. Out of the three type of people across the globe, the 80% of population falls under visual. So hence my training more focused on show and tell approach. I show and try to explain you the fundamentals and the respective business processes. And apart from that, I'm a passionate of the training. And I have totally 2 decades of experience in SAP. Started my career with sales and distribution, then expanded myself to material management, logistic execution, and warehouse management of the SAP ERP non-SAP platform, and whereas in SCM platform, EWM, TM, and yard logistics, along with S4 and ERP as well. And I'm an SAP authorized trainer for SAP education and adoption, and delivered multiple trainings across the globe. Say a consulting companies like TCS, Wipro, or and any other consulting companies, apart from board-based companies like PepsiCo, DKSH, RD, etc. I deliver the structured curriculum with the training deck, and I follow the training, corporate training methodologies and practices. And the job oriented, I explain the training with the training deck, and I'll also support SAP certification so that you can become a SAP EWM certified consultant. And apart from that, you will be knowing day-to-day living stories. I try to take the examples from the day-to-day living stories, and so that I correlate to the SAP EWM functionalities so that you can understand better. And apart from, I would like also take industry vertical stories like if it is the specific scenario, if in automotive industry, how it works, if it is retail, this particular functionality, how might be implemented, or best practices in the retail industry, or in oil and gas, or in automotive industry. Apart from that, we are going to learn 5 Ws of each of the function. Now, saying that, first, let's have a short discussion about what is the business and enterprise. The business is a specific activity or organization aimed at profit making, whereas enterprise often signifies a larger and more complex organization or initiative, and it can be included non-profit or innovative objectives. Both terms are both terms are foundational in economics and management, serving the backbone of a modern economics. Now let us see how the warehouse look like. This is the typical warehouse, how it look like from outside. If you see this particular outside the warehouse, this is the total structure of the warehouse, as you see. And on the top of it, you see there are some doors. This is called the doors here. These are the doors. When I say here, door 1, door 2, door 3, door 4. The doors, the trucks will be coming here either to unload the material, or there will be empty truck might be coming here to load the material. They are the doors, and this is trucks. We call it the transportation units. These are kind of forklifts to move the material from one location to the location. And within this particular warehouse, you store the material. You store the material, could be racks here. There are multiple locations here within the premises. You store the material. And if you see the place where you have next to this your warehouse, we call as an yard. Yard is the place where the particular trucks or containers parking here before you start the loading or unloading. Now, if you see this particular truck, once the particular truck is unloaded, the empty truck will come and wait here. Why this empty truck need to wait here? Because this is the total gate you have. This is the security gate. We need the security guy need to allow this particular truck to go out because it's already unloaded. Now this particular truck is an empty truck is waiting here. To allow this particular truck outside of your building, of your premises, the warehouse premises, you need to have a certain approval process. So certain documentation is required to allow this truck outside from your premises. So for that particular purpose, there will be some documentation is required. To get the particular documentation, this empty truck need to wait here before it go out from your premises. That could be one example. Or it could be there is a material is already loaded in the truck and the loaded truck also will come and wait here to get the certain documentation like dispatch notes, invoice copies, or customs related documentation. So unless and until this truck driver has got the particular documentation, he cannot leave the premises. So that's the reason this is a place where the place next to your warehouse, empty space where the vehicles will be waiting, that's called a yard. And this is the each of the door one, door two, door three. Also, we maintain it in the system as a doors. You see this physical, whatever you see it in the physically in the warehouse, all those elements we map in the system in the SAP EWM. So here, these are the doors. These we create a doors in the system as a configurable object. This is the doors. Now in this particular warehouse, you have 4 doors. There are certain warehouses, there might be around 50 doors. Imagine that how big that warehouse could be. This is the simple example from the outside, how the warehouse look like. Now, now if you see, this is the typical warehouse, how you see it in the, if you have any villages or any places where you have in the godowns, we call these as the rice godowns. Most of you, everyone who wish to learn the warehouse EWM, so please make sure that go to the any of the warehouse which is nearby. When I say nearby, it could be a highly automated warehouse or it could be bare minimum this kind of godown, what you what you have it wherever you are, you can go to this particular godown. This godown, the purpose of why I put this godown is you need to understand the functions which is happening in the warehouse. Way back when I'm learning the warehouse management, way back 14 years ago, that time even I really do not understand that how the warehouse works. So I went in my as a small village where we those days there is no warehouses like huge warehouses and automated warehouses like what you have it nowadays. In all the cities you will see the warehouses. But during those days, I went to this kind of go down. We have a rice go down. This rice go down, you see, this is number one, number two, number three, number four, number five. And these are the locations where I storing the where I'm storing the rice. And within this particular location, I am keeping the pallets. This call is a pallet. This one, I call it as a pallet. This is called a pallet. Within the pallet, I'm storing 1, 2, 3, 10 bags. I'm storing 10 bags. and I'm stacking it one above the other. It means stacking factor is a number three because there are one of the above three. This is called a stacking factor. And I'm storing in this particular area. I mean, here you have five and it means it's a six. In the sixth row, I'm storing how many materials I'm storing? Total 15 bags are stored. And with the stacking factor is three. Similarly, here, number five, you have a stacking factor here five. Here there is again 10. And in this particular pallet, you see there are only six bags. And here there is only five bags. So this is the rack. This is the kind of the bulk storage we call it as, whereas there are no racks here in this kind of diagram where you have a bulk storage. In the bulk storage, I'm keeping a bags one pallet on the top of other. And similarly, the between this particular location, this called as aisle, AISL oil, and this is called a stacking factor. One, two, three is the stacking factor. They are the oil. So here, if you see here, this is also here one, two, three, four. This is called, yeah, oils. This is the stacking, and here also you are keeping in the depth of this particular row. You will have a four rows. I'm keeping it the same bags. So typically, the warehouse, the godown, the rice godown look like this. Even though if you understand the rice godown how it works, bare minimum, if you can go and spend around 1 hour, 1 hour or 2 hours, maybe jargons could be different, but the functions are the same. Yeah, how they are doing it, please they might be doing it on the paper or kind of thing. Still, make a note on it and try to understand so that you can leverage the explanation, what I'm trying to explain in the program. And similarly, you will see the next picture. This is the modern warehouse, how it look like. In this warehouse, these are the racks. These are the racks. What you see here, you have a racks. This is a rack one, rack two, rack three, etc. And between that, you have oils also. The place where you either man or machine can travel, the place is called oil. And one more, which you notice here, in this particular racks, you have a small boxes. Is these small boxes? This also small boxes. SB small boxer. This also SB, and this is also SB small boxes. But whereas here, if you see, the pallets are stored. So it means in the racks, there's some place, some area I dedicate for the small to keep to store the small boxes or small parts, and there is another area I keep it for the pallet storage. Now is the oil. This is the oil, and this is the stacking factor. If I see the stacking factor from this example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So oil, stack, and row. Row means, suppose say here, if you see how many layers here. Why I need to know this actually? Why I need to know whether it's oil or whether it is the stack, what is the stacking, and what is the row? What is the purpose of it? The reason is, unless and until I say that I am a worker who is working in the warehouse, unless and until I give a number to each one. Now let us say the location number is 010101. Imagine that this number belongs to this particular location. There is a barcode here. On the top of it, there is a number here 010101. Being a warehouse worker, there is a material which is kept it here as something like palm oil. Palm oil, which is a raw material in the FMCG industry, the palm oil is stored here, for example. And there is a customer has ordered palm oil of 10 bottles. The system say that the palm oil is stored in the 010101 location from the system perspective. But being a worker, I have no clue where this where where is this particular 010101 is, because I have an RF gun in front of me in my hand. I have to go to the particular location to pick this palm oil as 10 bottles. But how? To identify, to pick this particular material from this location, these numbers will guide me. So I need to go to the oil 01 and the stack 01 and row 01. To identify to the location, I'll have these numbers. 010101 stands for oil stack row. Based on that, I can go and pick the material. This is all about the racks. That's the reason you see typically you have A1, AA, AB, AC. This is the identifier. In this kind of example, you can, there will be a number will be something like AE0101 kind of, AG0101. Those are the locations. Here on the top, you will get a barcode here. Each one of it, there will be barcode. The user will scan it and will take the material from the respective location. This is all about the racks. Here you see there are tables here. The tables in this example is tables also we need to map in the system. As I said, all the physical objects which you see it in the warehouse, we will be mapping it in the system. We will be mapping into the system as a structure, as a warehouse structure. We will be mapping. As we are mapping it, as we said, this racks we already mapped it. That's the reason you see the 0101, 010101 is the location number. In the business language, 0101 they call as a location. But whereas in the system, in SAP, we call there's a bin. Both are the same. Now, as we discussed about the racks here, now let us say the tables here. Tables also we need to map it in the system. We map the tables as a work centers. Then what is the purpose of these tables actually? The tables are used either to do the counting or do the quality check, QC, or to the packing. For these scenarios, these tables will be used. Once you receive the material, the specific quality team will check the materials, and if the quality is fine, then they will put the label. These are the label printers. We call as the label printers. They keep this particular label on the particular cartoon before it's sent to the racking. So first he will take it, he check the quality, whether the quality is fine or not, and then he might do the packing and he take a label and stick the label to the cartoon and ask for through the put away worker. So this is the physical structure, how it look like in the modern warehouse. One we have seen is a legacy warehouse, and the modern warehouse will be like this. And now we will see the next one. This particular, if you see this particular warehouse picture, let's imagine that automotive warehouse like Volvo or a Toyota. These companies, the materials, those are very huge, like engine parts or doors, etc. Those they will keep it in the pallet storage. See here, this all the racks are the pallets. There is no cartoons here. The pallets are keeping one after the other. This is called a pallet storage. And similarly, this is a typical warehouse, which you see it at the racks and the doors. And one more warehouse is a digital warehouse we call as a modern warehouse. In the modern warehouse, this concept is called ASRS. ASRS stands for Automated Storage and Retrieval System. This is the modern warehouse. In this warehouse, these we call as a totes. This blue color one we call as a totes. In the totes, there will be a barcode here. Each of the tote has a barcode. This particular machine, we send the information from the EWM to this particular machine, to this particular warehouse control system. In the warehouse control system will send a warehouse control system to WES, warehouse execution system. The information will go to this particular machine. There's algorithm behind it. So based on that, this machine will go and pick this particular tote. This one we call in our language, we call as a tote. The tote will be taken from this particular location and bring it to the staging area. Then respective employee will take this particular material from the cartoon, from this particular tote. Because suppose say if you take automobile industry, you have a best example is bolts and nuts. You have hundreds of thousands of bolts and nuts for the automobile industry. Different types of bolts, different types of nuts. Each one has its own importance. They will store the different types of bolts and nuts in this particular totes. Now, maybe I need one bolt, but one bolt there is in this particular tote. I have let's imagine that there is 1,000 bolts, but I need one bolt for one of the car. In that case, I say that I need a bolt from here. This particular machine will go and there is a scan barcodes here. Each one of the tote has the barcode like this here, the barcodes. The machine will scan and bring this particular tote outside to somewhere here. There will be a picker here. They take one bolt. There are multiple bolts here. One bolt, he will take it out and he will press a button. Then this particular tote again will be kept it here. This particular machine will keep this particular tote on the same location where from it has got. It could be same location or it could be a different location, because by the time this particular tote came outside, maybe there might be some other requirement, some other material might have been stored in the same location. So it is a dynamic, when you receive bringing out this particular tote is a fixed location from where you are picking it. But when I'm giving back, I mean, when I'm once this particular bolt has been removed from this particular tote, the rest of the three bolts I need to store back. So it's going back, then it's again dynamic. The system will find out where exactly this tote can be stored. Maybe the same location or it could be different location also, because it's a dynamic. Because there is a thousands of totes here, the system has to search where it is and the respective tote will be kept it in a separate location. This is the typically ASRS warehouse, how you will see it. And now we'll see another warehouse where you have robotic warehouse. In this kind of warehouse, there's a robots will be doing a packing of the pallets before storing in the warehouse or before issuing to the customer. This is the one kind of warehouse. Now let us talk about history of the warehouse. If you say the history of the warehouse, in ancient times, we need to know how the warehouse has evolved. So in Mesopotamia, around 3000 BCE, the earliest known known warehouses we used to call as granaries. We used to store the surplus grain in the city states like Urban or Babylon, like in ancient Egypt or Rome. So Egyptians had to store houses for grains and food and goods to manage the taxes and support workers. In this particular ancient times, the purpose is to support agriculture and state control and military provisioning. Whereas in the Middle Ages, in the trade commerce expansion, where you have a medieval Europe in the 500 and 1500 CE, warehouses emerged port cities like Venice, Genoa, and Bruges to support a growing trade. Because in this Middle Ages, they used to store spices, wool, salt, and silk. In this particular Middle Age, if I say the key role of the warehouse here, enabling long distance trade and inventory storage before markets. Now let's talk about Industrial Revolution, 18th or 19th century, where there is a massive shift due to mass production and railroads. Then warehouses became larger and standardized buildings, often near rail lines or factories, and the forklifts and pallet racks and conveyor belts appeared towards the end of this period. Here in this industrial evolution, warehouses were evolved from simple storage to critical link in supply chain. Now, if we see 20th century, the modern warehousing, like post World War II, introduction of barcodes and just-in-time inventory and distribution centers were evolved, and the rise of retail chains like Walmart and Sears created a regional warehouse hubs. And in the 1980s and 90s, the warehouse management system software was introduced, and it has been a massive shift from storage to distribution focused models. In this era, purposes serve as fast moving nodes in logistics and retail networks. Now we are in the 21st century where digital and automated warehousing, rise of e-commerce like Amazon, Alibaba, caused an explosion in fulfillment centers and last mile logistics. And warehouses now future as a robots, drones, RFID, and IoT, and advanced systems like SAP EWM, warehouse management systems on cloud, and predictive analytics. Here, in this case, the warehouse has become a data-driven, automated, and part of real-time global supply chains. Now, as we discuss history of the warehouse, now let us see the common processes within the warehouse. The warehouse process summary. If you see, the first and foremost, the goods receipt and put away, stock, picking, goods issue, physical inventory, stock transfer, and reporting. So there are totally 8 pillars in the warehouse processes. Just we need to understand the business first, then we go to the SAP, then we go to the SAP EWM. Now first, let's understand the common processes within the warehouse. Now let's go. This is the warehouse. Take this particular scenario. You have a warehouse. In the warehouse, there are racks here, rack 1, rack 2, rack 3. And within the each rack, you have a different type of material. So the blue color you can consider as a finished goods, and green you can consider as a semi-finished, and yellow you can consider as raw materials. So you will be storing the different type of materials in the warehouse in the case of typical manufacturing industry. So when you say the typical manufacturing industry, like if you take a fast moving consumer goods industry, like wheat, sugar, etc., could be raw materials, and the semi-finished could be a soap, base, syrups, etc. And finished goods, you will be having a biscuits, shampoos, detergents, chocolates, cosmetics, etc. Those will be finished goods. Now let us take an example that we have. Let us take an example that we are in the FMCG industry. Take like Unilever as a client who has this kind of warehouse. They are manufacturing the finished goods, and they're also storing the semi-finished and raw materials also in the warehouse. Now we have ordered the raw materials. We have ordered raw materials of two pallets, raw materials of two pallets of palm oil to the supplier. Then the supplier, then procurement team, who will be ordering the raw material? The procurement team. The purchase department from the business, the procurement team will order the material to the supplier. This is the truck. And the supplier said, okay, I'm ready to, I'm sending this particular two pallets of palm oil to you. And he has the truck arrived to our premises. This is our warehouse. Truck arrived our premises with this two pallets. It means these two pallets are in this particular truck. Once the truck arrived, what is the next action it has to be? The truck need to be arrive at the door, right? These are the doors I have, the three doors on the left side, and here I have a three more doors, fine. But the truck arrived at this moment at this particular location, at the door one. Now this is the door one. Now, once it is truck arrived, this particular material will be unloaded at a door and keep it here. This particular truck, the pallets are unloaded. The palm oil is unloaded at a door, right? Unloaded at a door and kept it here. Now where it is? Earlier, these two pallets are here, outside your building, outside your warehouse building, I would say. Now these two pallets are already here, unloaded and kept it here. When I say unloaded and kept it here, these two pallets are within your warehouse premises, within your warehouse building or warehouse premises. When these particular pallets are within these premises, it means you are responsible for these two pallets. You received these two pallets. When you received these pallets, this process is the first step, which is the first pillar here, goods received. Receive and verify incoming goods. I received and verified incoming goods. This is the first step, which is the first pillar. And the next, what is that? Next one I need to do. Next pillar is put away. Store goods in designated locations. Put away. Read the language, read the word from left to right. Away, put. Put away means store goods in the designated locations. Now, as this particular material is in within the premises, I need to store this particular palm oil pallets somewhere in my racks. But where? Somewhere means where? Whether it has these two should be stored somewhere here or somewhere here or somewhere here. Where? Where exactly I need to store? That where exactly I need to store is called a, a put away. Store goods in a designated locations. It means this particular material, if the palm oil has come, if the palm oil were received, then in the system, we say that this palm oil need to be stored in certain locations. That is already, we have already planned for the palm oil. If the palm oil, because it's a manufacturing industry, I buy palm oil pallets every month, around 5,000 pallets, I will buy palm oil pallets. So I design in the warehouse that where I need to store. That process is called a put away. It is not in the, if it is not in the system, even you are running a business, if the palm oil is coming, where I need to store that you already plan, because you know that every day, every month, you need this palm oil to manufacture our finished goods. You need the palm oil. So you know that that's the reason I already designate the locations for the palm oil. Based on that, the system need to do the put away. And the next one is stock management, track and manage inventory. Now at this moment, I need to track and manage inventory. Now I have a total, I have a here semi-finished I have, and I have a 2 pallets of palm oil just received. In this kind of case, I will count, I track how many materials are there, how many palm oil are there, and how much semi-finished products like syrups, etc. I have, or how many finished goods like detergents, shampoos I have, how many pallets I have. Those are all I track. That is the third pillar. And the next one is picking, retrieve goods for outbound process. Retrieve goods for outbound process. It means now, now the customer ordered of a shampoo of 2 pallets. Customer order shampoo of 2 pallets. Now again, there is empty truck. Empty truck came from outside to to this particular my warehouse, and it is at this particular door now. Now I need to pick the material of the of this particular shampoo of 2 pallets and deliver to my customer. Now I have a pallets of shampoo in the rack 1 and rack 2 also I have. But which two I need to pick? Whether do I need to pick these two or these two or these two or these two or this one here and one this here? Which which 2 pallets of my shampoo I need to pick to deliver to the customer? I mean, to deliver to the customer means to load in this truck. Which two? The process of which 2 pallets need to pick and deliver is called a picking. Retrieve goods for outbound process. Now let us say I picked one from here and I pick one from here. Now I picked one from here and one from here. I kept it here. It means the picking process is completed. And after that, I need to load this particular 2 pallets of the shampoo in this particular truck. When I move this particular pallets from here to here, these pallets is outside my building, outside my warehouse. Yeah. It means when I move out from my warehouse, this is called a goods issue. Issuing the goods is called a goods issue. That is the fifth pillar. Now, sixth pillar is physical inventory. Reconcile physical and system inventory. Now, at this moment, how many finished goods I have? Now I have how many pallets of shampoo I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 4, 9. And how much semi-finished I have and how much raw material pallets I have. When I say raw materials, how many palm oil pallets I have. Counting the stock, that's called a that's called a retrieval of the retrieving. That's called a goods issue. Once you have a goods issue, and the next pillar is goods issue, then we reconcile the physical and system inventory. Next one is the stock transfer. Stock transfer is move inventory within the warehouse. When I say inventory, every year you in this particular, this all are inventory. Inventory means the stock is called a inventory. For your basic understanding, you consider they are the inventory. Now I have this I have this shampoo 5 here and 4 here. I thought that, okay, it's not optimal. Instead of keeping all the five, five pallets of shampoo here in the rack one, 4 pallets of shampoo in the rack two, I wish to move everything to the rack one. This process is called move the inventory within the warehouse. And finally, reporting. Analyze how your warehouse is working, how your employees are working, and how optimally you are storing material within the warehouse. That is all the reporting. That is the reporting pillar. Now, so far, I would like to take a pause here. The warehouse processes level, anyone has any questions or clarification? Processes should be very clear for each one of you. Floor is yours.
It's very clear from me, my point of view.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Sir,
Good. Yeah.
this is Ramesh. The goods receipt and the goods issue, who is taking care?
Mm.
Means the EWM or MM guy?
Very good question, Ramesh.
Yeah.
Now we are in the warehouse. This is the warehouse process. Now this is the warehouse building. In the warehouse, I have a different racks, and each one of the rack is a physical racks. It means it's not a virtual, it's a physical racks. What I have seen it in the picture earlier, physical racks. In the racks, I'm storing the material. Now, the material, who is going to pick the material? This is all the warehouse, right? This is all the warehouse. In the warehouse, I have a material. I am receiving it in the warehouse. Who is receiving when I say I? I means the warehouse. I'm a warehouse employee. I am receiving it. Warehouse employee is receiving it. And also, I am a being in a warehouse employee. When customer order, I am the one who is going to load in the truck, right? It means the warehouse is responsible to do the goods receipt and goods issue. Because here, physical, leave about the system, think the physics. Now, in reality, I am the one who is receiving it and keeping it in my warehouse. Where I am receiving it? In my warehouse. Physically, this is my warehouse building. I'm a warehouse employee. I am receiving it. And I am the warehouse employee. I am the one who is loading the pallets in the truck for the customers. So definitely the warehouse. So I can say simply, it's a warehouse. I can give one short answer, but I want you to understand the physics. What is happening physically? I am warehouse, right? That's the reason it's a warehouse. Clear?
No, sir. What is the part of MM guy here?
Mm.
Means up to the how much the role in a warehouse?
MM guy do not have any role in the warehouse.
Yeah.
MM
So,
is a separate module, which is an upstream module, which will be separate module. There is no role of the MM in the warehouse. There is everything is handled by the warehouse guy here.
okay.
So when you say the MM is the planning module. A warehouse is the execution module. That is the major difference. Materials, you are managing it in MM. And here I am doing execution. So if the role of MM in this example, now as some time back we discussed, there is an there's a palm oil of 10 pallets were asked by the purchase order. Who will raise the purchase order? The MM. MM has raised a palm oil of 10 pallets to the supplier. MM team will create a procurement team will create a purchase order. From the consulting side, MM module team will design the purchase order of flow, how it should be. That is the purchase order. Once the MM has raised a purchase order, the material will be received in the EWM. Now the GR has been done here, right? Once the GR is done in the EWM, that GR quantity will be updated in the inventory in MM module. So there is an integration. The GR is triggered in the EWM, but the GR will be updated against this particular PO. The GR is updated. It means the stock in ERP has inflated by 10 pallets of the palm oil in the inventory level, where there is MMBE, and you see that MB51 also you will have this 101 will get triggered. It means the GR is triggered from the EWM, but all the inventory is managed in the virtual inventory. I mean, physically the stock is here, but in the MMBE, the stock will appear for the further planning. Clear, Ramesh?
Yeah, okay, sir.
I mean, it's a handshake.
Yeah, okay.
I would say without the MM in the kind of this particular manufacturing scenario, without the MM, the EWM cannot receive this particular material of 10 pallets. Yeah, the initiator is the upstream module is the MM. In this kind of scenario, MM raised a request for the palm oil of 10 pallets and the supplier has sent, and now we warehouse store the material in the warehouse. Clear? Anyone else? Any questions? Now, because this is very crucial, unless and until you understand these 8 pillars, we are going in deep of these all pillars, but the high level processes are the same. This all must to understand.
Sir, one more question. What is difference WM EWM?
Oh, that is coming up.
Okay.
We did not go to the any SAP yet. We did not
Okay.
talk any
Okay.
SAP so far.
Okay.
We did not talk about any ERP so far. We are just talking the business.
Okay, sir.
Now, business first you need to understand, because system is for business, not business is for the system is for business, not for other way around. We are need to know what is the business, what is why the systems were evolved. Unless and until these processes are not there, there is no system. Unless and until these processes are managed in reality, the design of the system or solution based on these processes. So then you need to know the processes. And again, my humble request is every one of you, please go to any of the either basic warehouse or go down or the rice go down or automated warehouse, spend 1 hour, take a permission and go and spend and understand. Just see and understand what they are doing it. Maybe jargons are different. What we'll be working in the system, but the processes are the same. Okay. Next. No other questions, right? Okay. Next.
Sir, can I ask a question, please?
Yes, Manish.
Um, you have shown us different warehouses, like, there is automated warehouse, there is robotic, and then RF warehouse as well. So what I want to know is the integration between these devices with the warehouse. So when I say integration, RF is integrated. That machine which you showed us, that is integrated, right? So how that integration happens, and would that be part of EWM, or is it something differently done through an interface or something like that?
That integration is supported by the SAP EWM. There is a called as a material flow system, which we will be integrated to this particular machine.
Okay. So we would be covering that as a part of our course, right?
No, this is the part of L2. First, you need to understand the basics first. This is an advanced topic. Unless and until you know the basics, you won't be able to understand this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So now let's go to the topic. Now, so far we see that what are the warehouse processes. Now let's talk about warehouse management. Now, so far we just discussed warehouse and warehouse processes. Now the management of the warehouse. Management of the warehouse refers to systematic control and optimization of all warehouse operations from the receipt of goods to their storage, picking, packing, and outbound shipment, ensures accuracy, efficiency, and traceability. Very important, ensures accuracy, efficiency, and traceability. The warehouse management is a systematic control and optimization. Now we are going to talk about SAP warehouse management. SAP warehouse management is a module within SAP ERP designed to manage and optimize warehouse operations. Designed to manage and optimize warehouse management operations. It provides tools to manage the storage, movement, and tracking of materials within the warehouse. This WM, we are talking about SAP WM. This WM is part of the SAP ERP almost from 3 decades. But however, just you need to know the history of the EWM. To understand the history of the EWM, now what is the earlier version of the EWM? Earlier version or earlier solution, I would say. Earlier solution of the SAP is the SAP Warehouse Management. This enables organizations to maintain high level of inventory, accuracy, and streamline warehouse processes to improve operational efficiency. Now, if you see the key features of the WM means warehouse management, defines the physical layout of the warehouse, inventory management, and the goods receipt and the goods issue. The functions, what we have seen, the core business processes, you can see everything in the warehouse management. When I say warehouse management, SAP warehouse management, we are not yet started discussing about SAP EWM. We have not started discussing. We are just talking about SAP WM. So far we see the business processes, the goods receipt and goods issue is supported by the SAP WM, and put away packing also, inventory management also supported. Automate the put away process. Put away also we have seen, picking is also one seen, we have pillar. And also the SAP WM also can do the stock transfer where I move them one pallet from one rack to other rack to optimize the storage or to for the better efficiency. Yeah, those are all supported. And the physical inventory, the counting of the stocks, and if the product is batch managed and serial managed, that is also. And RF technology supports radio frequency devices to enable real-time entry and validation during the process. Now, let us, as we have seen this already, let us have some quiz to understand what is happening. Now, let us say, what is the primary purpose of the SAP warehouse management? I would like to understand what is your understanding of the warehouse management. Maybe right or wrong, just shoot your answers. What is the primary purpose of the warehouse management?
Option C, sir.
Anyone else? I wish let's have interactive meetings. Yeah, instead of monologue. Yeah. Anyone else? Right or wrong, please speak up.
I agree, C.
Okay, very good answer. The correct answer is efficient management of goods, movement, and storage at warehouse. And the next question is, which module does SAP WM integrate most closely for goods movement?
Yeah, material management.
Option C. Yes.
Absolutely. A material management is the answer for this. Even in the certification, you go to the SAP EWM certification, you will have a multiple choice questions similar to that. And at the same time, that's the one of the objective of putting the Q&A. And the second objective is so that you are interactive enough in the program. We'll have this kind of Q&As in the training. Which of the following is not a core component of SAP WM?
Uh,
Work center.
Absolutely. Work center is not the core concept. It is the storage type and storage bin, transfer order. I know there will be some people who might not be knowing about SAP WM. It's fine. Just to understand what is the concept we have, I'll just put up. And the next, what is the must data essential for SAP WM? Master data required for SAP WM.
Storage bin.
Storage.
Type.
We say SAP WM. If you see the general ledger, it's no way. It's not. Customer master is no, because it's not essential for WM. Storage type and storage bin are the correct answers. And next, what does a warehouse number in SAP WM represent to?
C again.
that option C, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a unique identifier for a physical warehouse. That's absolutely correct. And which of the following documents is created in WM to move stock from one bin to another?
C.
Delivery document.
Option C.
Option?
C.
Which of the what is the question as? Yeah, right.
Yes.
Which is the one? Delivery document. Which of the following documents is created in WM to move stock from one bin to another? One bin to another. It is yeah, I know it's a kind of who already worked on SAP WM. For them, they can understand it is a transfer order is the correct answer.
Yeah.
And which of these is a type of the warehouse activity in the SAP WM? Either picking or billing,
A.
invoice.
Picking.
Absolutely. The correct answer is a picking. Because the rest of them billing is a ERP topic, invoice also ERP topic, and payment is also ERP topic. It's maybe finance or as sales and distribution related topics. Only the picking is our warehouse topic. Which organizational unit is below a storage type in the SAP WM hierarchy?
Storage location.
Warehouse number.
Organization unit is below a storage type. Below a storage type. Please note.
Below storage type.
Storage bin.
Storage bin.
Warehouse number.
Below. Warehouse number is there. I agree. But it is not below. It's above. The warehouse number is above the storage type. Now
storage bin.
The correct answer is storage bin. The below element is the storage bin. And the next, what is the first step in configuring the warehouse management? What is the first step?
Option C.
C.
Yeah, to define a warehouse number is the correct. And which of the following best describes a put away in WM?
Option B.
B.
Movement of stock or process of storing, posting goods invoice.
Option B.
Yeah, B, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, correct answer is B. You are absolutely right. Very good. Process of storing materials into warehouse. So we have concluded about the warehouse processes, and we see at high level what is the SAP WM process. Now let us move on our topic as an infra. Now, as we have seen the SAP warehouse management, I would like to show the infra. When I say infra, what is the system we are using and how to log into the system, that I'm going to show. Now, as part of the infra, you will be getting a system access, and there will be one document how to log into the system. Along with that, I would like to show how to log into the system. And at the same time, I would like to show the system. Now for that, I click on Start D. I click on infra. Yeah. And I give the command as msctc, mstsc. You will have it in a document. Once you log in, the system will ask you the computer. You give this computer name. And after giving a computer name, you will have a user ID password. The system will ask you to enter the user ID password. And you enter the user ID password. First time, once you enter the user ID password, automatically the respective user ID will be shown here. Like my user ID is SCL01 is my user ID. You give user ID password one time, only one time. Huh? After that, you will be logging in with the user ID password. User ID, each one of you will give a dedicated user ID, like SCL01, someone will get SCL22, 23. There will be separate email for all of you for the user ID. And user ID and the password will be also shared via email. Once you log in by giving the user ID password in the remote desktop connection, click on connect. The system will take you to this particular screen. This particular system has already, you have a Fury and you'll have a GUI. As soon as you log in, you will be logging in at the logon pad. And within the system, during the program, you will be learning decentralized EWM and embedded EWM as well. When I say decentralized EWM, decentralized EWM means there is ECC system, SAP ERP system, and there is a EWM is in a separate instance. That is the one scenario. This is a ECC system, what we have. This is the EWM system, what we have. When I say ECC and EWM system, these two are separate instances. And there is a separate, one more system is called a S4 training environment. In this system, this is called embedded environment, which I'll be logging in for now. Now I give my user ID. This is the system which you will be logging in. Once you're logging in, you will be working on the system. And suppose say in EWM, all the transactions will be part of the warehouse monitor. We call as a warehouse monitor. To go to the warehouse monitor, go to the logistics, SCM, extended warehouse management, monitoring, and SCWM on is the warehouse monitor. So this warehouse monitor acts as a cockpit of the warehouse. All the processes within the warehouse can be monitored from this particular report. Now, what is the stock situation? If some of you are there already in a working in SAP ERP, something like the stock overview, you see the stock overview in MMBE, the similar kind of stock overview, you can see it here in the warehouse monitor. This is the total stock. This is storage type, storage bin. This is the kind of. And also, once you have a delivery is created in the EWM, ERP, let us say you have a ME23N, you know the purchase order screen. Once this purchase order is created in the ERP, let us say this is the purchase order is created, purchase order 1582 is created, and this particular purchase order, the delivery is created. This delivery, you can go to the VL33N and see the respective delivery. Now the GR, GI, that all will be done. Now let us say if that is this particular inbound delivery is GR is completed, it will be updated as a GR document with a 101 movement. Once I complete the loading, unloading the material, this GR will be created. GR will be triggered from the EWM and it will be updated to the SAP ERP document. When I say updated to the SAP ERP document, mean updated against the delivery document, the GR is updated. But this GR is triggered from the SAP EWM with the different this user has been triggered from the EWM. When you are working in warehouse management system, the GR and GI will be done by the respective system or solution. Now, as we see in physically also, where it is where I'm doing a goods receipt, where I'm doing a goods issue, that we have seen, that's way it will work. Now, this is a infrastructure. I would like to give a pause here. Any questions related to the infra? Okay, fine. Then next, let's go to the.
Sir, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
So the integration between both the systems would be done over there, right? I mean ECC and if it's decentralized,
Yeah.
then if we are creating any sales order or delivery in
Yeah.
ECC, and then that would be passed on over here, right?
Right, right. That's what it is actually. We have created a delivery in the ECC. ECC,
Okay.
we have a ERP solution. They have created this delivery. That delivery will come to the SAP EWM as the inbound delivery. I'll go to this is the delivery. Yeah.
Yeah.
This delivery, I'll open it in the warehouse now. Now in this, I give this delivery number. This delivery, wait, I will show the another delivery. Suppose say you have this delivery in the EWM. Now this is the delivery. You will see the same delivery in the ERP. This ERP, this is the delivery, and again as this purchase order, this delivery, again as this delivery, there is a GR has been done in EWM. Once the GR is done, the respective status is updated at the goods received.
Okay.
Clear?
And yeah, clear, sir. And we can monitor all of that, for example, through iDoc. Is it done through iDoc? Sorry, if I'm asking something wrong, but we can monitor all of that, right?
Monitor?
I mean, how the delivery flows from one system to another system. That's the question.
That is goes with the QRFC. You'll be coming up.
Okay.
You will be part of the program. Yeah. So
All right.
we have seen the infra. Now let's have let us see something about the EWM now. Now, when we are talking about EWM is part of the product portfolio of the SAP. Within the in the part of the portfolio under the umbrella of the supply chain logistics. You please go to the website and see what are the solutions or products are released by the SAP. In SAP, you go to the products within the supply chain management. There is a supply chain logistics is the product. Within the supply chain logistics, there are multiple solutions. One of the solution is the transportation management, yard logistics, extended warehouse management, and B4NL and GTT. There are 5 solutions. Those are part of the supply chain logistics. Out of those 5 solutions, these 3 solutions are available on premise, and that is the reason I will be delivering the trainings in all these 3 solutions. The rest of the business network for collaboration and global track and trace, those are only on the cloud portfolio. So that's the reason I won't be able to I do not have that particular infrastructure. So I'll be handling these 3 solutions training. You are here for the specific training, SAP EWM. Now, let us talk about SAP WM benefits first. We have SAP WM. The benefits of the SAP WM is optimized warehouse space and enhanced inventory accuracy and improved productivity and seamless integration and improved order fulfillment. These are the benefits. Those are available a part of the SAP ERP almost since 4 decades. Yeah. Now, as we have this SAP WM already, then why we have a EWM? This is the EWM. The EWM, the name itself, you see, this is the warehouse management. This is extended. It means the warehouse management is extended. Extended means the word itself, it is extended. The same warehouse management is same. The processes are remain the same, but it is extended. Why it is extended? Because of the global demand of the digitalization digitalization towards the warehouse or within the warehouse. So that is the reason they have released a version as an extended warehouse management. Now, the warehouse management and the extended warehouse management, there are functionality and scope differences. Now, if we say the warehouse management, it supports core warehousing functions, whereas EWM, advanced warehousing functions and suitable for more complex operations. And whereas if you talk about flexibility and customization, in SAP legacy system, which is called a warehouse management, why do I say the warehouse management is the legacy? Because the warehouse management, the support of the warehouse management will be ended by 2027 by the SAP. Hence, the clients who are in the warehouse management has to migrate from the warehouse management solution to extend the warehouse management solution. That is the reason I say it's a legacy. Now, when I say legacy, extended warehouse management is a legacy. Now, let's talk about flexibility and customization. Standard process within limited customization supports the low complex solutions. And this EWM, it's very flexible and allows for tailored complex solutions. You can have tailored solutions, customization is possible. And warehouse optimization wise, it provides the limited process optimization. Whereas here we have advanced features like wave picking, slotting, kitting, etc. And inventory management wise, now here in the warehouse management at storage bin level, but lacks the granularity to manage the handling units. Now, in the legacy or SAP warehouse management, I would say the handling unit level tracking is missing in the warehouse management. Whereas in extended warehouse management, you have a real-time tracking inventory. allows the businesses to manage the complex storage types. And when we say integration with SAP S/4HANA, it integrates mainly with SAP ERP, and third parties, non-SAP platforms has a limited integration capability. Because, and also there is automated warehouse. Sometime back we have seen the pictures like ASRS or conveyor belts, AGVs. Those particular integration capabilities are missing in the warehouse management, whereas external warehouse management has a strong external resources. Then future support and migration, as I said, SAP is phasing out, doesn't align with SAP's future direction of SAP S/4HANA and WM in it, and the clients who are in SAP WM need to migrate to the EWM. And whereas the SAP Extended Warehouse Management, it's part of HANA Suite, is a strategic WM solution, enhanced capabilities, and SAP Digital Core. The first and major reason the clients who need to implement EWM or migrate from warehouse management to extended warehouse management is with SAP WM is being phased out by 2027, enterprises are migrating from WM to EWM. And also there's a demand and faster, more accurate order processing is possible in SAP EWM because you have RFID tracking, etc. And also you have a regulatory compliance like pharma, chemicals, and food industry, which require a strict batch and serial managed tracking is possible in EWM. Now, someone asked about the question of the WM in EWM. Hope it's clear now. Now let us see what is the growth and what is the SAP EWM is all about. The first and why you need to join EWM or why you need to learn EWM. The EWM is becoming a preferred digital warehouse solution across industries due to increased demand for automation and real-time tracking and supply chain efficiency, and several global trends and market drivers are accelerating SAP EWM adoption. If we talk about key market trends driving EWM growth is something like global e-commerce sales are projected to exceed 7 trillion by 2025, and the companies need a real-time inventory tracking, faster order fulfillment, and optimized last mile delivery. And also, SAP EWM enables automated packing, wave processing, and seamless integration with logistics systems for quick order processing. The impact here, if I say the companies like Amazon or Walmart or Alibaba, Aldi, Tesco rely on advanced warehouse management solutions like SAP EWM for same day and next day deliveries. That is the reason we have a key market trends. And now let's talk about digital transformation and smart warehousing. And the businesses are moving from legacy WMS. When I say legacy WMS, it could be SAP WM, which is a legacy WM, or there are many clients who have built their own warehouse management system, the inbuilt homegrown warehouse management system, or there are many third-party non-SAP WMS systems also there. Those are all moving from legacy. Those are all you can consider as. Those are all you can consider as legacy WMS systems to cloud-based AI-driven management, and technologies like IoT, AI, robotics, and automations are transforming warehouses into smart distribution centers. And SAP EWM can integrate with IoT sensors and RFID and AI-powered analytics for real-time decision making. Because of this digital transformation, smart warehousing, the clients like smart warehouses powered by SAP EWM plus IoT plus artificial intelligence to improve operational efficiency by 30%. Now let's talk about growing demand for supply chain and resilience and agility. During the COVID-19, geographical tensions and climate change have disrupted global supply chains, and the companies are focusing on resilient supply chains with flexible and decentralized warehouse networks. For that particular purpose, SAP EWM embedded or decentralized. The embedded and decentralized, these jargons, which we'll be discussing in detail in upcoming sessions. SAP EWM allows a real-time visibility and agile inventory management to respond to disruptions. Hence, 80% of companies are increasing investment in supply chain digitalization, making SAP EWM as a crucial tool of adaptability. Now let us talk about adoption of robotics and automation in warehousing. The warehouse market is projected to reach around $41 billion by 2027. The companies are investing in automated guided vehicles and robotic packing, picking, and AI-powered sortings. And also, SAP EWM material flow system, we call as MFS, integrates with automated warehouses, conveyor belts, and robotics to boost efficiency. Impact, I would say, the businesses using SAP EWM along with robotics experience up to 60% faster order processing and reduced labor costs. Now, growth factors accelerating SAP EWM adoption. If we see the growth factors is something like where you have a lot of job market and career opportunities for SAP adoption. When I say growth factors, I would say growing demand in various industries. Suppose say SAP EWM is widely used across industries, something like retail and e-commerce industry, Amazon or Walmart, etc. Or automotive industry like BMW, Volkswagens, or pharma industry like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, etc. And manufacturing or high-tech industries like Siemens, Dell, etc. And if you say consumer goods and FMCG industry, Unilever and P&G, etc., they are using SAP EWM. And also SAP integration with SAP S/4HANA, because SAP WM is being phased out by 2027, companies are transitioning to SAP EWM. And because of that, SAP EWM in SAP S/4HANA makes it easier to adopt, because SAP EWM is also part of the SAP ECC. Now, when the clients are moving to S/4HANA, SAP EWM is also part of the SAP S/4HANA business suite. And apart from that, advanced functionalities and automation, the warehouse automation and task and resource management, integration with the TM for end-to-end logistic execution is also advanced functionalities. And when we talk about job market and career opportunities for SAP EWM professionals, there is a high demand due to SAP WM to SAP EWM migration. As you know, SAP has announced SAP WM will no longer be supported after 2027, forcing companies to transition to SAP EWM. And the global enterprises and consulting firms are actively hiring EWM experts for migration projects. And we expect the 40% of increase in the upcoming 2 years of the SAP EWM demand. Already from past 2 years, there is a 40% of increase of the SAP EWM jobs were increased by 40%. We expect 40% more in the upcoming 2 years because of migration from the WM to EWM. That's the number one. And number two is industry-wide adoption of SAP EWM. Retail and e-commerce, fast-moving supply chains need warehouse automation and real-time inventory tracking. And pharmaceuticals and healthcare, they need a batch and serial management tracking for regulatory compliance. And if you say automotive and manufacturing industries, like just-in-time inventory and warehouse automation are driving EWM adoption. And also, the one more third reason of the job market is global adoption of SAP EWM in smart warehousing. So companies are implementing artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, and automation in warehouses. The SAP EWM integrates with automated warehouses, conveyor systems, and AGVs. And future warehouses are fully automated, requiring SAP EWM skills for digital transformation. The warehouse automation market is expected to reach $41 billion by 2027, increasing the demand for SAP EWM experts. And if you say that career paths in SAP EWM, if you are in the entry level EWM, you will get around 70K to 90K per annum. And if you have a mid level, you have a 90 to $120, 120K dollar you have, and senior level you will get 120 to 160. And more than the functional EWM technical resource has more demand and more salary packages. If you are EWM technical consultant, suppose you are already an SAP ABAP already technical side. You know the SAP, you become a SAP, you learn SAP EWM functional, then you can write a code in the ABAP by using the SAP EWM, because SAP EWM is not like normal ABAP. It is a SAP EWM. Now, if you see the SAP ERP, it's a normal ABAP. When you talk about SAP EWM, it's all about OOPS concept. So not all the ABAPers can handle or can do the coding or do the developments in the SAP EWM. It is a special skill which is required. So if you become a SAP EWM technical consultant, they have a more demand than the functional. Like suppose say if you say EWM technical as entry level, also you will have around 80K to 100K dollar per annum, and mid level you have 100K to 130K you have. So the top skills required is EWM configuration and RF framework. And more importantly, I urge everyone to complete the SAP EWM certification post this training. That is definitely is going to uh, add a feather on your hat to get a better break. SAP certified as a SAP certification in the EWM. Please plan post our training. Please allocate your budget, because that particular as a separate UI you need to pay to the SAP and enroll it and get it certified. Please plan in the next in third month. Please plan for the SAP EWM certification. Get it certified. I'm here to support whatever I support and guide you for the certification. Now I would like to give a pass. Any questions?
Not at all.
Good. Now let us talk about, I would like to say some stories. Now please pick up a business vertical to tell you the story of the warehouse. I can give a stories of the from the day-to-day living story first. Then I will then then we one of you pick the story from the industry. Now let me take a story of the day-to-day living story. Day-to-day living story. Imagine there is a lady like Neha. Neha runs a booked heaven, a warehouse management tale What I do, Neha loves a books and runs an online bookstore from her garage. As orders are growing, she decides to manage her stock more efficiently using warehouse management principles. Just like how we do the big companies like warehouse management systems or SAP WM or SAP EWM. What she do, she create a warehouse setup. The warehouse setup means she has because she has a garage, right? In the garage, she put the books. Neha organizes her garage into zones A, B, C. In the zone A, she plans to keep a fiction books and B, non-fiction books. And in this, she put a kids and comic books. And each of this shelf is labeled as suppose say here A1, B2, and C3. She checks the purchase order, enters them into the notebook like creating an inbound delivery. She checks the purchase order, which is called a PO, and she enters here in the notebook. She enters that I need a certain fiction books of 10 pieces, 10 books. She enters in the notebook. She enters in the notebook by pen. This, when she enters in the notebook, is nothing but in our language, this is called a inbound delivery. Once this particular fiction, 10 books were received, then she will store this in this particular location. And simply, once someone has ordered the fiction books of Harry Potter books of one copy of Harry Potter book has ordered Neha, because this is a Neha, right? Neha is running a bookstore here in the garage. Now someone has ordered the fiction book of Harry Potter. Then Neha directly go to this particular location B2, take this Harry Potter book and deliver. Take means this is nothing but taking in language. In SAP language is a picking. She taking and she pick this particular Harry Potter book which is in this fiction area and deliver. This is called inbound and outbound. And after that, she has to find out what is the stock at this moment. She will check at the given point of time, she will check where this particular stocks are. How many are there Harry Potter books are, and how many are kids and comics books, how many are fiction books are there. That is called inventory accuracy. Because of using this warehouse management principles by Neha, she got shelving books by gender and recording a new stock and finding a books to ship, and packing and shipping has become easy, and weekly stock check also she is doing, and labeling the shelves like she put a labels like A1, B2, C3 similar to our warehouse. This is how, if we take a normal in day-to-day life scenario, this is the how warehouse management principles helps in a day-to-day life also. Now let us take I would like to take one of the industry like FMCG or high-tech or electronic or defense or chemicals or petrochemical or pharma, any one of the industry you pick up, I will give you a story from the industry side. Floor is yours. Someone, please.
Pharmaceuticals.
Pharma. Okay. The pharma industry. When we say pharma industry, Maybe you can refer the Johnson & Johnson, MSD, Pfizer, etc. In this pharmaceutical industry, there is a company like, let us take a company like Pharmacare Limited. Pharmacare Limited is a leading global pharmaceutical manufacturer, was struggling with inefficient warehouse operations with multiple warehouses across different regions. They face the challenges in inventory. The challenges are inventory accuracy and regulatory compliance, and also timely order fulfillment. This is very crucial for pharma, specifically because it's required for the living creatures and timely order fulfillment. So the challenges faced for them is strict regulatory compliance. Challenges are, first is strict regulatory compliance. Strict regulatory compliance because required detailed tracking for each batch to meet FDA and GMP guidelines. And next, the cold chain management. When you say cold chain management, needed real-time monitoring for temperature sensitive drugs and also high volume and complexity. Manage thousands of SKUs, including raw materials and finished goods. Next challenge for them is inefficient order processing. Delays in order picking and dispatching critical medicines. Because of these challenges, they went ahead with the SAP EWM implementation. The SAP EWM implementation, what they have done to overcome these challenges, they have implemented SAP EWM. The Pharmacare implemented SAP EWM and it's fully integrated with the SAP S/4HANA and TM. The key features what they have used is the batch and serial management. Batch and serial management. Ensure end-to-end traceability of medicines. Tracked expiration dates to prevent the dispatch of expiring drugs. And advanced storage and put away strategies. Advanced storage and put away strategies. Temperature sensitive drugs stored in a climate control zones using EWM storage types and first in, first out, first expiry, first out used to ensure compliance. And they also use the function called warehouse automation and RFID. RFID and barcode scanning reduce the manual errors during picking, and AGVs, automated guided vehicles, improved warehouse efficiency. And also, as they have integration with SAP TM, for transportation planning. Integration with SAP TM for transportation planning would optimize shipment routes to ensure faster delivery of life-saving drugs and cold chain logistics monitored in the real time. Because of implementing these all features, what they have got is now they have implemented, as they have implemented these features, now the benefits what they have achieved is 99.8% inventory accuracy, reduce the stock discrepancies, and 99.8% inventory accuracy, and 40% faster order fulfillment because of using the features what we have just discussed, and also 100% compliance. When we say pharma, the first and foremost which will be coming to our mind is a compliance with the regulatory standards. Automated documentation allows them to 100% compliance and reduction in warehouse cost. Reduction in warehouse cost. Improved space utilization and reduced wastage. In conclusion, with SAP EWM, the pharma care transformed its warehouse operations, ensuring faster, compliant, and cost-effective distribution of critical medicines. This success story highlights how SAP EWM can revolutionize pharmaceutical logistics by enhancing efficiency, accuracy, and compliance. This is the story of the pharmaceutical industry. Now, let's go to our topic, the introduction of the SAP EWM. The introduction of the SAP EWM, the topic, what EWM can handles. It handle the manage goods inside the warehouse. The main job of the warehouse SAP EWM is to manage storage, picking, packing, and bin stock. Example, it is finding which bin inside a Mumbai warehouse, which is in India, as a 50 pallets. And also, a warehouse think of it as a warehouse supervisor or inventory controller. And when it starts is as soon as goods arrive at the warehouse gate, and when it ends, when goods are picked, packed, and shipped from warehouse. It starts as soon as the material receives at the gate. It ends when the goods are picked and packed or shipped from the warehouse. And the main goal of the EWM is to control warehouse in accurate, efficient, and real time. And where it is used in any warehouse, it could be big, complex, or high volume. The fun fact, I would say, EWM also can do voice picking, slotting, and even robotics. So there is a similar to headphones. There are some warehouses who use a voice picking, slotting, and even robotics also can be handled in the EWM. Now, introduction of the EWM. The EWM is a powerful tool to manage optimize with a large space where the goods are stored. The name implies an extended and also extensible warehouse management system, which comes with a variety of options and frameworks. As we discussed, SAP EWM is part of the supply chain business suite that offers advanced features of handling goods movements and inventory management. This is the typical structure where you have a warehouse. The material will be picked from me in the warehouse and loaded in the truck. And similarly, the SAP EWM is a comprehensive system designed to support complex warehouse operations. The business sectors such as manufacturing, retail, and distribution centers, which require advanced warehouse operations, for them, you have SAP EWM. And SAP EWM is available both decentralized solution that can run independently of the main ERP system, and an embedded version in SAP S/4HANA providing flexibility for deployment option. Though we have a separate topic related to the decentralized and embedded, now I would like to take at a high level explanation about the decentralized at this moment. Now here, if you see, it is called both decentralized solution that can run independently of the main ERP system. Now we are talking about SAP ERP system. When I say SAP ERP system, it could be SAP ERP, it could be 3 version, or it could be 4.5 version, or it could be 4.7 version, or it is the 6 version, or it is the 6 and support pack 8 version. It could be any of this scenario, the version of the SAP ERP. Now, during the SAP ERP is in the same version, the SAP EWM, when it is evolved 2 decades ago, it is a part of the SAP SCM. There is a product from the SAP similar to the SAP ERP. There is another solution which is called a supply chain management. In the supply chain management, there are multiple solutions. Way back, suppose say APO, Advanced Planning Optimizer, GATP, Global Availability to Promise, Transportation Management, Extended Warehouse Management. There are other solutions like Event Management. There are other solutions, those are part of SAP SCM. Here, when I say SAP ERP, as we all know, SAP ERP also has multiple solutions like sales and distribution, material management, finance and controlling, production planning, project systems, plant maintenance, HR. There are multiple modules in SAP ERP as well. In the SCM business suite also there are multiple modules. Way back 2 decades ago, when SAP EWM has launched the product, they launched the product as part of the SCM business suite. So in that case, if the client want to implement SAP EWM, I'm saying 2 decades ago around, they do not have any other option to go and implement EWM as part of the SCM server. It means it is the server, one server is an ERP and another server is the SCM server. The data used to go between these two systems bidirectional. As both are in SAP platform, SAP has released its own infrastructure, its own interfaces they have released. The interfaces, there are 2 interfaces were released. One is the master data and another is a transactional data. In this kind of architecture, the master data, they have released an interface called a core interface, CIF core interface. The transactional data used to be as queued RFC, queued remote function call. The transactional data flow between these two with this interface. The master data, suppose material master, customer master, vendor master, batch master, these are all goes with the core interface. This kind of architecture is called a decentralized architecture. It means EWM is decentralized. Centralized means within the system. D stands for decentralized, means it's a separate system. This is called a decentralized architecture. Now, the clients are migrating from SAP ERP system, irrespective of the modules, irrespective of the versions, maybe they are in a different versions. Irrespective of the versions, They are moving from SAP ERP to S4 HANA ERP. They are migrating from ERP from the legacy module to S4 HANA ERP. Now, when you say this kind of architecture, now in the same S4 HANA ERP, you have a similar to SD, MM, FICO, PP, PS, etc. Those are part of here. Those are part of this particular solution because they are migrating from from the legacy that's called SAP ERP to the S4 and ERP. Now, what's going to happen to this? Now, the client is already in this particular server who are in a SAP SCM business suite. They already implemented EWM. For them, there are two options. Way back 2 decades ago, there is no option. Who wish to implement EWM, they have to go only this kind of architecture. Nowadays, there are multiple options, not multiple, couple of options for the client who wish to implement EWM. Either the EWM they can add, they can implement within the same box. When I say WM box, you have SD, MM, FI, etc. Right? Similar to that, EWM also you can have it in the same box. That's option 1. And option 2 is there is a separate box which is S4 HANA EWM. It means this box is migrating from here to here. In that case, this option, the data will go from here to here, here to here. This option is called a sidecar. Sidecar. Now here we used to call it the decentral. Here in the S4 HANA, this kind of architecture we call it the sidecar. The options for them who wish to implement EWM in S4 HANA, they can implement here in the same box, they can have EWM, and option 2, they can implement EWM as a separate instance in S4 HANA. So this is called embedded version. Embedded means this is called embedded version, which is option 1. It means embedded. It means the system EWM is also embedded within the core functionalities of the SAP ERP. That is called embedded. Decentral means it is not central, it's a separate box. That's called a decentral. The decentral language we use in this kind of environment because you might be deployed in the project, maybe in this kind of environment. We never know. That's the reason I am, as part of the program, you will be learning what is the difference between this architecture and this architecture, how the process flows. That is also you'll be learning. So at this moment, I would like to say decentralized means this. You will be having a deep dive in the upcoming. This is at a higher level. You have, this is the decentralized, this is an embedded, this is called a sidecar approach. There is a different deployment models based on the business needs. Based on the business needs, whether you wish to have a EWM in the same box or you wish to have EWM in a separate box, that's up to the client based on the business needs. Now, let's go to the.
Shiv, may I ask a question?
Yes, please, Anna.
Thank you. Can you give us a real life example as to why somebody would go for the embedded version versus the sidecar version? Like, can you give us like an industry that would normally go on sidecar, one industry would go on embedded?
The industry example is you are having a automated warehouse, for example, where you are using a third party, like a third party interfaces you have that need to be need a special interface need to build. That's the reason the clients wish to have a sidecar approach. That's number 1. And number 2, the ERP system, there will be sometimes you will have a downtime, the system upgrades, patch ups, etc. The EWM, the warehouse operations are running 24/7, 365 days, for example. So to avoid the kind of system down, so that EWM we wish to have a separate. That's first on interface level, and second one is the system downtime, because we are EWM. This is execution system. ERP is a planning system. Planning system can in the weekend it can be down sometime because the where the planning the business are not running. But whereas the warehouse is execution system which works as a 24/7, 365 days, which is up and running without having any disturbance of the patches, upgrade, etc. And number two. Number three is throughput. If the throughput is too high, if you have a lot of per every day you have around 50,000 SKUs shipping out and receiving. Based on that, we, as in being an architect, we decide that we suggest that this is the approach for your business. So that's not the business. We, after understanding the business, being an architect, we guide the client that for your business, you go with embedded. For your business, you go with the sidecar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, 5 Ws of the EWM. You know already what is EWM. We already know. And when EWM is used, business need robust and detailed control and warehouse operations. And why we use visibility and automation, and where we use distribution centers, manufacturing centers, and who uses complex warehouse needs and large manufacturers, retailers, high volume storage and intricate supply chain requirements. Those will go for the EWM. If we say industry wise, if we say the pharmaceutical industries like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Novartis, etc., those companies implement EWM to track temperature-sensitive drugs, including goods storage, like handling units with batch and expiration date. The features they use, like batch and serial managed and handling unit management, because of implementing EWM for the pharmaceutical industry, they have a compliance with health regulations, maintain inventory accuracy. If you take automotive industry like Toyota, Volvo, Lamborghini, etc., they use, if they implement EWM application to streamline just-in-time delivery process for their assembly line. The automotive industry is a little bit different compared to other industry because this particular industry is dependent on OEMs materials, because they have to get the material from multiple suppliers. I mean, when I say multiple material, tires will be manufactured by one OEM, and doors will be manufactured by one OEM, and batteries will be manufactured by one OEM. Windows, I mean, mirrors will be manufactured in some other vendor, and one will manufacture the glasses, one will manufacture seats. So this all will be coming to the assembly line to manufacture to finish the product, like a car, the four-wheeler, to assemble and finish make a finished product. They are dependent on OEMs. Because of the OEMs, the material need to come as a just in time and just in sequence. JIT and JIS is very crucial for automotive industry because they generally follow just in time, just in sequence, because the inventory cost they wish to reduce. That's the reason most of the OEMs are near to the assembly, near to the plant where we are manufacturing the vehicles. So that's the reason they are more focused on inbound rather than outbound. That's the reason they implement EWM for just-in-time delivery process for their assembly line, precise tracking of parts in handling units. They use advanced replenishment strategies, and high inventory turnover improves production efficiency. If you take retail and e-commerce like Walmart or Walmart, Alibaba, Amazon, etc., they manage high volume orders, particularly during peak shipping regions. The features they use, wave picking, cross docking, etc. The benefits they have is quick order fulfillment, high volume transactions. And if you take a chemical industry, like chemical industry, you can say Chevron or ExxonMobil or Aramco. They use EWM to manage storage and handling of hazardous materials, comply with environmental and safety regulations, because the futures, the business case for them to implement EWM is to manage hazardous material management and storage bin management and warehouse and bin management along with the quality control. Because this industry need a safety and compliance with regulatory standards are crucial for this industry. Similarly, food and beverage industries like EWM track manage temperature sensitive drugs, the compliance with health regulations for the food and beverage industry and consumer goods industry, the high volume warehouse where products are distributed to multiple retailers. Benefits is reduce the picking time, improves order fulfillment, enhance flexibility. Now, with this, I would like to conclude for today. Any questions or clarifications? Would like. Hello. Anyone else has any questions so far? Okay, then thank you and have a great weekend.
Thank you so
And
much,
we'll
sir.
see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.